breakout, I want you to think about, kind of stick to this page, what was that, 51? Think about those three buckets. These are some cheat sheets for you, some examples. How would you measure readiness for the project that you're currently on? How would you measure adoption, day one, week one, month one? What are some metrics that start to get you to see into the actual behaviors? And remember that example I gave you guys yesterday for the document management system that the claims group was rolling out, right, paperless. At the end of the day, the biggest metric that we measured was volume of paper being printed, right? That was the gold nugget. So it doesn't have to be complex, it doesn't have to be a lot, but how do you start to see if that behavior is actually changing in your organization? That was a huge indicator. If my volumes went down, right, I know it's working. If my volumes went up, crap, right? They slid right back down the change curve, they're in denial, right? They went back to old habits, okay? So go ahead and maybe at your tables, if you want to take one of your projects and kind of work it as a table team, I think that'll be a little fun, kind of have some dialogue. So let's pick one project per table and talk about what metrics can you look at to determine either readiness or adoption, right? And let's get kind of concrete. So let's pick one project per table and spend about 10 minutes. And then we're going to do some report outs. So I liked this activity. I saw a lot of good knowledge sharing. A lot of good knowledge sharing happening at the tables. A lot of common opportunities. All right, does anyone have any examples that they want to share? Any examples on measurement that they want to share that came out of their table discussion? I heard some good stuff. You guys are, some are still involved in lively conversation. I love it. Lively debate. What are some good examples? What did you guys come up with? Maybe something you learned from a peer at your table. One of the conversations I heard, which is more prevalent than not, I'm sure, one of the companies switched their AMS system, and I said, well, last year, were you successful? I don't know, right? How do you know, right? How do you know if you've been successful? So what are some metrics that you guys came up with? So give me just a super quick snapshot of the project and what kind of reporting and auditing.
New processes, new workflows, and the goal is standardization. Yep. So some of the measurement techniques, would be, using reporting to identify areas that need a lot of, work, auditing, and then going back and training. But
good. And I think I heard peer-to-peer.
Yes, peer-to-peer auditing.
Auditing, and that's something you've done in your organization, I take?
On occasion.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay. Has that worked out well?
Yeah. Everyone's out there saying, naked.
Yep.
Because everyone knows who's,
Yeah.
your colleagues is auditing yours, auditing your colleagues.
Yeah.
So it's out there for everyone to see. There's additional motivation for everybody to sort of get on board because everybody's going to see everyone else's results.
Yeah. And what I love about it, there's never kind of one easy answer to this stuff, right? Like you'll notice that's peer-to-peer. There's a couple different tactics you're incorporating with an audit, right? But you're having the right people do the audit. It's different if you were to have a manager, right? Or someone with that authority level. It's much different, right? So you're applying these tactics maybe without that framework, but it works, right?
It actually ties into some of the responses we get when we do lean mapping, and we get, the group of underwriters in the same room, and one of them says, oh, I'm doing this and it takes me this amount of time, and another underwriter says, you're doing that? I stopped doing that, 6 months ago because the carrier doesn't need it anymore. Really? I never heard from anybody that the carrier doesn't need it.